Alright, so what we got here is MJ doing a power clean and power jerk at kind of moderate weight for her. Let's play it at speed first, see what's going on. Let me see on this clean. Big jump forward, and then we'll see the same thing on that jerk. We just watch where those speeds start and end. So, what we want to watch here. First thing, we'll go to this clean, right? So, if we draw kind of our classic line on the bar here, go straight up with it, we're going to see happen. The bar actually does come back off the floor pretty nicely, right back into the hip, and then we kind of have this this power position, and the bar shoots way out in front. And if you watch this, you're gonna have to see your feet have to go chasing that thing to catch it. All right, and then if we watch the jerk, we're gonna see kind of a similar thing here, right? Where if we say, okay, cool, what's gonna happen? We're gonna see this jump forward to actually chase that jerk. So both of these jumps forward start a little bit sooner than the jump. At some level, I would say that particularly on this jerk, we've got kind of this concept of of more of a horizontal hip extension rather than a vertical hip extension, where you can see she kind of bends and then shoots her hips forward to get that bar overhead. But in reality, both of these issues are caused a little bit earlier. So if we watch this clean, we're going to see happen is this bar is going to come back, which is good, but what we don't want to see here is this big change of this back angle, right? So this here is her back angle, and as soon as she gets that bar into this above the knee position, that angle changes pretty significantly. So what I'd like to see instead, and this is almost too much of a good thing for MJ because we've worked quite a bit on her getting her knees back, so now she's really worked on pulling the knees back to come off the floor, which is a good thing, but she's kind of traded that for like a knees back, chest down type of position to come up off the floor, which is not exactly what we want to see. So then in this spot you can see she has her shoulders way too far forward, her legs almost straight, and then in this position really the only thing you can do is just kind of slam your hips forward into the bar and loop that thing way out. So instead, what I'd like to see is probably hips just a little bit higher in the starting position. So back angle maybe more like that or something. And then as we come up off the floor, we'd like to see the chest stay up and have this back angle right here with the shoulders not quite as far in front of the bar, and that's going to enable the hips to then move vertically to pull that bar up overhead. But all that stuff is going to come from a better first pull and a more consistent back angle. Then, if we move on to this jerk, we're going to see here is for this dip, it's actually just too deep, right? So if we watch this dip, it goes pretty deep, and then you can watch the weight shift to the toes. So right here you can say, okay, heels, and then right here, weight shifts forward, and then in this position again, we're kind of cocked with the chest collapsed down for this sort of horizontal hip extension. So what I'd like to see instead is probably a dip that's maybe that deep, and then right into the jerk from there. So dip is just far too deep, and then that kind of forces this collapsed chest and this pop forward, which is then going to result in a chased bar. But again, this is kind of moderate weight. Once it gets heavier, then these lifts are going to be missed based upon those types of positions.